Hey, welcome back. And in today's video, we're going to talk about Jack Dorsey's Block and the future of where this company might go and whether or not I think it could be a good investment opportunity or not. So let's get right into it. Now, as many of you may know, Block was formerly Square, and they have those white payment terminals at smaller retailers, as well as a suite of business software for small businesses in particular. Another huge segment of their business, though, is their Cash App, personal finance, and person-to-person payments platform. And on that platform, you can do a lot. You can hold money there just like a checking account. You can also buy stocks and ETFs as well as Bitcoin, and you can send money to your family and friends like Venmo or PayPal. Now, over the past year or two, we've seen a huge decline in the share price of fintech companies like PayPal and Block. And as we can see, Block is down over 75% since its 2021 highs, as well as other companies like PayPal being down over 70% as well. Now, over the past couple of years, we have seen Cash App's gross profit increase dramatically from around 100 million a couple of years ago now to over 750 million this last quarter. And Block, like many other financial institutions, is protected from inflation somewhat, as they take a percentage from all the money that is processed and transacted on their platform, which when in times of inflation rises, they see an increase in revenue proportionately. Now, some people who aren't completely sold on Bitcoin and layer 2 technologies on top of that would be confused why they changed their name from Square to Block. And as Block has stated themselves, they changed their name because of the evolution that the company has undergone since the inception, with the acquisitions of Cash App, Tidal, and TBD. They also doubled down on this and said that they changed their name to more accurately reflect their mission, which is to build products that enable economic empowerment to everyone. Now, onto the results of how Block has been performing. They had their earnings report recently within the past week or two, and I went over it briefly in my last episode, but the most important parts of their earnings report was their growth in profit among their Cash App and Square business. They had a gross profit beat of 1.57 billion versus the 1.53 expected, which was a 38% increase from last year. Their growth in gross profit was led by their Cash App business, which grew by 51% over the past year, generating 774 million in gross profit. They also saw a pretty large increase in their Square gross profit at 29% year over year. Now, the question we should be asking ourselves is this sustainable, and can they keep this up over the next 4, 5, 10 years? And even though there is a lot of execution risk, I believe it is possible, as Android Market Research is predicting that the fintech industry is projected to be over 699 billion by 2030, driven by the need for user-friendly mobile financial applications and the increased adoption of digital payments. Now, if we can agree with this research and say that the fintech industry is going to grow because of those reasons, then the question is, can Square or Block capture a large portion of this market? With Cash App and PayPal being at the top of the Google Play Store and the iOS App Store, it is pretty apparent that they are the leaders in this industry for now and are primed to be the top consumer products for personal finance. Now, it's important to note that although there's a lot of things I like about this company, there is a lot of competition entering the market, with companies like Apple, Amazon, Google, and PayPal all entering and competing in this market. But I think there is something different when you're comparing Block to its competitors like Apple, Amazon, Google, and more specifically, PayPal. And that's to do with what Jack Dorsey is really turning this company into. With the name change to Block, they have also heavily integrated Bitcoin and the Lightning Network within their Cash App and other products. Now, the Lightning Network is particularly interesting to me, as there are many different huge payment processors like Visa, MasterCard, SoFi's Galileo, and Technisys, and many different companies that make the majority of their money through processing payments and transactions. Now, how is the Lightning Network better than some of the other payment processing platforms out there? Well, as reported by Bitcoin Magazine on Nasdaq.com, this has enabled people who want to transact on the Lightning Network to send and receive money with a median transaction fee of $0.0003. Now, I'm no expert in the payment processing industry, and there could be something that I'm missing, but if companies were to integrate this within their websites, they could completely skirt the comparatively large fees from Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and other payment processing companies. And this technology could prove to disrupt a lot of the current players in this space, from Visa and MasterCard all the way to SoFi's Galileo. Now, because the technology is relatively new within the past couple of years, it is hard to tell if it will truly disrupt this payment processing industry, especially as the players are so ingrained within the current system and so powerful. But I also think it's naive to say that there won't be any disruption within this technology, as if you can settle payments instantly for a fraction of what you would have currently paid with Visa, then why wouldn't you? Now, this is one of the reasons that I haven't invested in SoFi more aggressively and why my position remains small. Because although SoFi's technology is far better than other institutions and banks that currently exist, it pales into comparison with the Lightning Network and other layer 2 developments on top of Bitcoin. But to bring it back around, what does this mean for Block? As a large portion of their business, mainly their Square business, relies on traditional payment processing. Well, I think that because of the clear pivot that Jack Dorsey has made, whether it's from changing the name of his company or focusing a lot of his efforts and company resources on Bitcoin technology, that he sees a future where access to financial systems and transactions is borderless and free. And I think Block is doing a great job of that when integrating these new systems onto their Cash App platform. Now, I think an example of why this technology is so important is because when someone immigrates to the United States and wants to send money over borders back to their families to help support them, they usually have to pay at least a 10% fee to companies like Western Union to process and transfer that payment to their family. So if I make $1,000 and send it back to my family, 10% of it is instantly wiped out to some intermediary. But if that same person were to use Bitcoin, all they would need is an internet connection, and they could send that money over within 10 minutes, and it would be instantly settled with their family, and there would be less than a 1% fee. And if you're to take that even a step further, if you're to use the Lightning Network, it's even a fraction of that fee. And it settles as fast as you can send a text message. And personally, this is why I am investing in Block, because I think that they are pushing this payment processing and person-to-person payments system to where it should be. You should not have to charge 10% fee just to transfer money across borders. And with Block and Cash App products, you don't have to do that. Now, moving on from their Cash App and Bitcoin products, they also have two acquisitions that they made over the past several years, being Tidal and TBD. Tidal is a music platform that is supposed to return more money to the creators and artists who make the music, and have partnered with huge artists like Jay-Z to promote this platform. And Block also owns TBD, which just announced that they're going to make a Web5 decentralized web platform. So we will see what that eventually means, but as of right now, we don't have much news or information about this new platform. So with Block sitting at around a $35 billion market cap, I'm going to continue to dollar cost average into this position over time, because I believe that the products that they are making are really great and useful things that people need and can undercut a lot of what the industry is currently offering. I also think Jack Dorsey will be successful in bringing economic empowerment to people across the world. But just remember, I don't know your situation and I don't know your risk tolerances, and I most certainly could be wrong about my thoughts on Block and what the future has in store for it. There's a lot of different scenarios that could play out, but this is just what I think is most likely to happen and what I'm doing with my own portfolio. So do your own research and your own due diligence and decide what is best for you and your personal situation. And with that, that's all I have for today. So please like and subscribe if you like the video, and comment down below if you have any questions or any comments about what I've said or just about Block in general. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.